my... Let me just make sure I let you guys through the door. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the Petal Place property located in the countryside of northeastern Ontario, Canada. morning, friends. I was just actually cutting up some walking onions. I did the leaves and the little onions, and my intention is to use it to make something special. Yeah, so I'm gonna wash them off now and put them to drain, because I don't spend a lot of time indoors during the summer months because there's so much that I want to get done outside. So I'm usually outside most of the time, right? However, when I am going to make the stuff with this, I will record it so you guys can see what I have done with it. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab a colander now to wash them and leave them to drain. And then I have some callaloo. Callaloo, or amaranth, if you want to call it amaranth. In Jamaica we call it callaloo. Yeah. So my hubby and I went into Toronto and we picked up a bundle. So I want to get that all prepared here. Now I'm going to cook right now, just preparing. Now it's the first time I'm using so much of my walking onions, but as I get more done around the property, I will be able to have more time to actually use what's in the garden. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this to drain. I'm gonna, just leave it over here. And maybe I will put a cover over it. I will get a towel to cover it. There we go. I'm just gonna grab something from the freezer. While we were in Toronto, I picked up a big aloe vera, and so I actually peeled it, and then I sliced these up, like diced them up a bit. So, and I put them in the freezer to flash freeze. So now I am gonna put them in plastic bags. Not so easy to come off. Oh, yeah, I'm getting them off. I flash froze them because I want the individual pieces. Okay, so this is what they look like. They're little pieces. So I can use them to put in 1 cup smoothies when I'm making smoothie for myself. Trying to get this done before they get soft. Because if they get soft, then they're going to get very slimy. And it's harder to work with them when they're like that. Because I can start to feel the slime. There we go. They're in the bag. So now I'm just going to pop this back in the freezer. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse this off. These are some nice looking callaloo. And if I'm not lying, I'm sure it said that it was product of Ontario. Right, Paul? Yeah, I think it said it was product of Ontario. Okay, I am gonna switch. I think I need a bigger colander for my callaloo, so I'm gonna switch my walking onions. Actually, okay, so since it's all metal here, I'm just gonna rest it on the stove. And I'm gonna use a metal plate to cover it. There we go. There we go. So generally the first thing that we usually do is what we call picking the callaloo. And picking the callaloo just means that we're taking off any of the harder fiber. So we generally just cut across the base of the stem. I can feel it feels pretty tough. And then we just go like this. And so what we do is peel off the harder fiber on the stalk of the callaloo, so we don't cook that tough thing. Yeah, that's pretty thick. Let's see. Okay, higher up. Oh yeah, you can see the difference. Look at the fiber here and look at the fiber here. It is tough down there. But generally, I don't like to waste too much of my callaloo because it's too expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and peel. I'm going to go ahead and peel it. Peel off the fiber to a certain extent. Yeah, because down there it's very tough. So I got to just ditch that part. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that for all the stalks, and then we take off the seed too. These leaves are good. I didn't see any wormholes or anything in these, so that's good. Now the main stem usually has tougher fiber than the stems that come off the offshoot or the branches. Better to take off the top stem than to put the top stem in with the rest of the callaloo and then don't enjoy it. This is pretty good callaloo. So here, where the seeds are in the middle, we generally cut that out. Now I'm not going to cook it today or right now. Maybe later, but not right now. I'm just cleaning it. See, this has more seeds. So I'll just cut this out. That's it. That's it, man. It's a money. I'm impressed with this callaloo though so far. Generally we buy callaloo in the can, tin callaloo. I have some callaloo in my garden because of our weather, our climate in our zone 4 garden. Not sure what's going to happen. I'm hoping that they will grow. Yeah. So I take this out and throw it on my compost pile. And then if there are seeds in here to grow, they will grow on the compost. Okay. Now, sometimes when we're washing the callaloo, we sprinkle with a little salt. And that is to get off any worms that might be on the leaves. But right now, I don't see any wormholes. So where there are worms, there are wormholes. I don't see any wormholes, so I don't think there are any worms on the callaloo. On the callaloo. There's some good greens. Callaloo is good for iron. If you're deficient in iron, eat some callaloo or amaranth. Okay, now this is one of the things that as Jamaicans, when we go home on a vacation, we usually bring back to Canada. And we bring back quite a bit so that it lasts us for a little while. So we freeze it and it lasts us for a bit. Okay. So I just used my, let me just make sure I let you guys through the door. Sometimes I'm recording and I don't turn on the camera, but the camera is on this time. Yeah. Okay, so I just used this little knife to clean the callaloo. Now I'm going to use a bigger one to cut the callaloo, so just got to get out my cutting board. Okay. Oh yeah, I am going to get my plastic here that has a lid. So I'm going to cut it up and put it in here. And put it in the fridge. So usually we just grab a few stems at a time. Now these are 2 big stems. So, and then we just cut. thing that I sometimes do is use my scissors, and I basically just hold it and then just cut, just like so. But the thing about doing this is I think it takes more time, because you can only do one stem at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and put away this pair of scissors and get back to my cutting board. And when you're cutting the part that has the long green stem, you want to cut that part as small as possible so that it's not hard to cook, or so that it's easy to cook, because you don't want the leaves to get mushy before the stalk is cooked. Okay, let's get back to business. The more stalks you put at a time is the quicker it gets done. Okay, that's too big. Gotta make it smaller. See, I just did this. I'm just gonna pull this off because it means that it's hard. So callaloo and codfish, when I was growing up, was one combination, along with boiled green bananas or fried dumpling. That's one combination that we have for breakfast, especially on Sunday morning.
You want some callaloo for dinner later? Yeah, sounds good. Okay. That means we're gonna cook some dumplings.
since I'm planning to cook the callaloo later, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of my walking onions in. That's good. And I am going to get a couple onions. Wow, these green bananas are ripe. They won't sell us proper green bananas. They sell us ripe bananas for green bananas. Oh, look at the green bananas I picked up in Toronto. From the minute I was picking them up, I said to myself, these things are going to go, they're going to ripe. They're going to ripen. And yeah, they did. We can't get proper green bananas. Okay, so I use my oh. Come back here. Where do you think you're going? I'm gonna get a couple cloves of garlic. So this is it for now. I'm not going to put any salt on it right now because I'm going to put it in the fridge. And I don't want the salt to produce any liquid in there because it will start swimming if I put salt in it now. Mwah. Thanks so much for spending some time with me in the garden today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please consider subscribing and coming along with me on this journey on which I am endeavoring, working hard, putting in some elbow grease to create a country cottage garden retreat. See you again soon.